Today we will be talking about the first-person shooter feature for Left 4 Dead 2. As you can see, the first-person controller utilizes both the left and right, up and down. It's directly placed on top of the player's head. And as you can tell, whenever the player jumps or moves, the reticle opens and closes about 0.1 to maybe 0.5% spanned or width apart. Once the player jumps, the camera actually shakes and hits the ground. And then whenever we go to the axe or a melee weapon will shake the camera by about maybe 10 to 15 degrees, depending on which way the player actually swings. Also with jumps, as you can tell, there is a damage, or what looks like a fall damage basically, and it basically tilts the camera about the same amount. Whenever you utilize the actual melee weapon, you will actually have tilts 10 to 15 degrees, and then it returns right back to the normal. Whenever you utilize the shove, it'll move it down to about 15 degrees, and then it will actually reset back to center. Whenever the player utilizes any sort of mechanic that actually deals with the actual camera, which would be the melee, the shove, and as you can see, the special infected, whenever the special infected hits you, it'll cause the damage. And as the player actually receives damage, or he receives blood splatter, it comes upon the actual first-person camera and gives the UI the distinct look of blood splattered on the player's face. Now, whenever a player actually gets hit by anything, they will actually either take damage, and the lower your damage goes, the more likely that it'll become a red screen. And as you can see with the player's actual weapons, the animation for it moves up the actual weapon to about a 5-degree increase and then right back to normal. Now, whenever the player actually needs anything or has this happen, then the camera spans out and goes into third person, and it gives them about I'd say about a 45-degree turn and looks down at the actual player. Now with the sniper, you actually have the option of increasing the field of view. On the base level, you have about maybe a 25 to 30 field of view. Whenever you utilize the actual scope, it will actually cause it to increase to about 50 to 60 field of view points. This gives the player the distinct look of actually zooming in, and it will basically utilize that to be able to show you an increased look upon the actual player you're trying to go with. That has been